What's good, homie? What's cracking, leg?
I'm good.
Hey, happy Saturday, happy weekend.
I thought you were about to say Happy New Year. I was going to be like,
Nah,
no,
nigga.
fuck.
It's
No, One
February.
February
We
already.
stop body compliments.
I've seen you. I don't know how many times, but
Hey,
yeah,
we stopped body compliments and all of that a long time ago, bro. You know. But yeah, let's get it cracking, man. We had to talk about hip hop.
Yeah, no, let's do that.
You know, yeah.
Overdue as well.
Hey.
We've been trying to do this for at least like 2 weeks.
Yeah, man. Last week's episode was nice. I've just been hollering at homies that are free and are game to kind of just have a conversation. Nothing hectic, nothing planned. It's just I'm going for something organic. So I thought, we're always having chats about hip hop and so I figured you might be the perfect person, you know what I mean? Yeah, where do we start, man? You're a fan of R.Kelly.
Oh, man. Of the music. Yes.
Of the
yes,
music,
yes.
you know what I mean?
Very much so.
Yeah, so let's chat about R. Kelly's catalog, man.
But yeah, it's nice just to throw me into the
Yeah,
into the fire into the fire like that.
Let's make it controversial. a
And
bit.
what it is that I'm not gonna deny.
Sure,
I'm not gonna deny being a fan of R. Kelly's music.
sure,
So
yeah. But I guess where I'm going with it is like, I keep seeing these things of, the verses, Michael Jackson versus Ban Ban, right? And R. Kelly.
Yeah, that would be like the ultimate versus.
Nah, but Uzi, he can't versus anybody.
Yeah, he has to battle himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be like the good R. Kelly catalog versus the bad R. Kelly
R. Kelly,
catalog or something like that. Yeah.
Because I mean, it's quite crazy. Niggas keep trying to compare R. Kelly to Michael Jackson or to Beyonce, and I'm like,
So it's hard to make those comparisons, I think,
sure,
because those are performers.
sure,
So I think Beyonce and Michael Jackson would be a fair enough comparison.
sure,
The reason why I think versus, it includes what you've written, right?
yes,
Yeah, I think R. Kelly's written for Michael Jackson.
yeah,
So he can pull out a Michael Jackson track on Michael Jackson.
or Michael Jackson.
You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
R. Kelly, you put him. So I don't know if he's done anything for Beyonce, but man, R. Kelly is written.
Yeah, he's written for everybody.
For everybody.
Yeah.
For everybody. So
We had an interesting conversation about. We were talking about this exact conversation actually, and I asked the question of like, for conspiracy theorists, right? Why R. Kelly is in jail?
And you got me. Me, I'm a conspiracy theorist.
You know what I mean? So outside of like the foul shit this nigga's done, right? Let's have that conspiracy.
Which I mean, we all let go.
Yeah, for many years. Like
for
this,
years,
this ain't no new
yeah.
thing. Like R. Kelly did this shit. Oh my God. It's like Diddy now. It's like, you know what I mean? You gotta pay the piper, dog. Like it's that time. So my theory is like, who's not making money from R. Kelly shit no more? Right? That's why he's in jail. Like they can't kill him. They can't. So I mean,
Yes,
you were pretty much saying this shit to me.
Yes. No. Now I know the conversation that you're referencing.
Yeah.
It's because he was performing, right? I think. Remember, R. Kelly, before they locked him up, he had started doing, I think, was it the Black Panties tour?
Sure.
Where, yeah, man, that guy was going all over the States. And it was women who are, I think, late 30s,
Sure.
late 30s to 40. And this was, I don't know, a few years ago. I remember laughing at my sister saying that, you are the guys keeping R. Kelly in business.
Yeah.
Right? And he was making money off that tour.
Sure.
And then the next thing, these cases come up, surviving R. Kelly comes up and is getting locked up. And the reason why I say all of a sudden is that he wasn't getting accused of things. At 2016. No, he was getting accused of
old things,
Aliyah things, things that people know.
Sure.
Things that people know of that. Like I'm saying, we've let him get away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
So, but all of a sudden, then they come up. Then it's a case, you
Sure.
know. So I think that yeah, man, is because he had started performing. He had probably stopped recording music.
Away.
Right, he had stopped recording music. Chances are the record label, whatever label he's signed to or whatever, is not making money,
Sure.
and he's now making money from touring. Chances are whatever deal he has, I'm not. This is just me,
Yeah, 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 100%.
speaking, but he probably had his performance right. So he was making money from touring, which is why he was touring. That's what I'm saying. I remember it's just that maybe by that time I remember people maybe they already cancelled R.Kelly. But I remember his tour was a big thing. Because and it's because
And
of
actually, he was
ladies
back
like
on stage. He was
yeah,
doing
that's
like,
what I'm saying. That he was back on
yeah,
stage. People like the concerts were selling out. The concerts were selling out. He was doing some nasty shit on stage. Remember, ladies were throwing their panties on
Panties and
stage.
shit,
And
yeah, yeah.
he's he was being R. Kelly, right? But this is what I'm saying. At that time, he was, and then all of a sudden,
all this shit
all
comes
the
up
shit comes
again,
up,
right?
right? All the shit comes up again.
It's
And
convenient.
it's convenient. That's what I'm saying. And it's almost like he was making money where people accepting him for being who he is. That's what I'm saying. He was doing nasty shit on stage.
Sure.
He was, and no one could stop him. People were complaining, but like I'm saying that I think because he wasn't answering to anyone,
Sure.
so they couldn't stop him, right? Because I remember people complaining. They're like, "Hey man, this guy's shit is a bit too." They're basically saying it's foul.
Yeah.
But the next night he's doing it again,
Again
it's
and
trending,
again
and
and
the next
again.
night he's doing it again, and so that's what makes me think that, in terms of his performance, there's no one who controls him there.
Yeah.
There's no one who charges the money. There's no one. So in order to stop him, put him in jail.
That's crazy. And the reason I started with this conversation, right, is last year you sent me a documentary. And essentially in it, we were having a conversation about how labels, especially in the global scene, it started with the conversation of the 27 Club and what that is, and how labels control artists, like how artists back in the day were dying at a certain age because of kind of insurance contracts that labels would take out on artists.
On
right?
artists, yeah.
And I think on this documentary they called it the death
The
clause.
death clause.
You know what I mean?
Or they hide it very nicely and call it the non-performance clause.
100%.
Yeah. But
You know. And it took me back to that with R. Kelly. Is like, clearly, obviously, that kind of contract doesn't exist for him, but he's still very closely tied to major labels with a lot of music from a writing and production perspective outside of R. Kelly's music, right?
Okay, yes.
You know what I
terms
mean?
except for what he performs.
For what he performs,
what
but
he's written for other
exactly right. But now, obviously, that kind of clause doesn't apply to him. I'm assuming. I'm not very well informed.
Okay,
in that
obviously,
regard,
yes. I mean,
right?
not
So,
knowing the exact details
yeah.
of
So
the clause.
the
you wouldn't
alternative
know.
would be to put him in jail.
Put him in
You
jail.
get what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Because I think when you're in jail, I think you can't earn
Yes.
from your. You can earn from.
Yeah.
So I don't know
You
whether
lose certain rights.
do they hold it for you or does it revert to the label? That's what I'm saying. I think music contracts have.
That would be interesting to know actually what the law says about if you're
Yeah.
because in America you lose certain freedoms, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So-
So, I mean, and you see it in Monopoly.
Yeah.
Right. When you go to jail and people land on your property, you can't collect.
You can't
rent.
collect shit.
And remember, that shit is based on
Real life.
yeah. So chances
But
are.
I mean, with music, then you can. I know you can assign a beneficiary to your earnings.
uh-huh.
Like even with me with Samro, when I register my music, they ask you, should such and such happen to you and you're unable to collect, who then becomes your beneficiary?
But
so,
I
you know what
think
mean?
if you're assigned to like a
Then-
major deal, there'll be some fine print clause somewhere in
That
there
disallows
where
that kind
as
of
much as you put in your beneficiary, somewhere like the label has to approve it or some shit because remember you're signed to them.
Yeah,
So I don't know, but yeah.
that's a fucked up ass system, man. I mean, it's so wild. Like you're screwed either way,
yeah.
right?
But I would imagine that, yeah, like if they put you in jail, as much as what it is that the fact that you lose freedoms. So I think, remember, the law is tricky. The law is written by those who it, who it's supposed to suit.
Sure.
Yeah, who it's supposed to work for, and that's corporations and stuff. So it wouldn't be far fetched for them to be able to take away your rights to earn
Yes.
when you're in jail. Remember, you've committed a crime, so you've broken.
It
some
makes
shit.
sense.
So
Yeah.
and no, your family's not gonna earn from it. Whatever.
Yeah.
The system
Benefits from whatever.
from
Yeah.
it, and the record label is part of the
It's
system.
part of the system.
They'll pay taxes on it. They'll do whatever, and the person that gets screwed is you.
you.
I think easily. So chances are they are now chowing his. Remember, if they're not earning off his performance, they're not earning off his performance rights, right? But you throw him in jail, and then you keep releasing his music. As much as
music,
we've
yeah.
cancelled him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can't
like,
cancel R. Kelly.
Niggas, we
They
still
tried,
listen
bro.
to R. Kelly,
You
right?
can't
So
cancel
I'm
R.
saying,
Kelly.
play You Are Not Alone right now, Michael Jackson. Yeah. R. Kelly's earning somehow, right?
100%.
So if he's in jail, then someone is making that money. Someone is making that
Definitely, because that
money.
money
Yes,
isn't going
as
to
much
thin
as
air.
we've cancelled him, yeah, I don't think YouTube has cancelled him, right?
Nah,
Yeah.
it's still fun.
It's just that I don't know.
Niggas throwing videos out from jail, nigga.
Yeah,
There's those
yeah.
videos where he's singing his ass off for the niggas on the ball court and shit.
Yeah, so
You know.
do you see what I'm saying? So as much
Yeah.
as we've cancelled R. Kelly, so what is that? There's R. Kelly money still being made
Yeah.
right now. If you,
Now there's too much R. Kelly money.
yeah, there's
too
that's
much
being
music.
made right now that he's not chowing right now. And chances are, like I'm saying, that there's a law that they can pull out that says
say,
that,
nope,
especially,
we don't owe you
isn't he there for life?
He's got 30 years.
Ah, come on. Dog. Yeah,
No,
that's
no, 30 years for his first charge.
life.
He's still going through some more charges. I think he's got he's got a lot. He's got a long time.
He's got a
He's
long
never
time,
coming out.
right? He's never coming out.
Nah, he's never
So
coming
yeah, it's that thing that so they figured out then how to chow his money for the rest of his life.
Dang.
That if he's in jail,
That's so sad, man.
he can't chow it. And then remember that guy. I know like so I don't know whether with the kids and the wife and stuff, but I know even like the family, the brothers and stuff. I don't think he's good with them. That they're written into any wills or into any as beneficiaries.
That guy's a
or
one-man
whatever.
project,
Yeah,
bro.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he seemed he was a one-man party. So
That's the downside of like going into this shit without family backing, right?
yeah.
It's like when it's going down and it's good times, you're on your steez.
Yeah.
And when the
When it's
fucking
going
shit
down,
burns
it's bad
down,
times.
it's you alone,
you're
bro.
also on your
You know what I
steez,
mean?
yeah,
I want to bring it back to SA. Like there's this conversation going down on the internet about DJ Maporisa and who's this other guy? I forgot. I forget these guys. There's another house DJ producer guy. I forgot his name. Fuck. But the argument is about ownership of music content, right?
Okay, I think I heard something on the radio the other day about my producer said that I think if you produce something on his
Hey.
equipment,
It's his.
then it's
he
his.
owns it. And we had a slight conversation about this, but
So it's unfair,
but it is what it is.
but legally,
it is what it is.
legally, I think there's some shit that
Because, I mean, it makes sense. There's not much of a conversation there. Niggas keep trying to.
The fact that he's done it, he's pulled it. He's
look-
chowing those guys' money. What it is that it's not their money.
Yeah. It's
We
not
think
that,
it's their money.
but also there is money that they're entitled to.
Yes, yeah.
So I heard on I saw a video of McGee's podcast, and he's like, these niggas aren't even getting royalties from their involvement in the music, right? So, for example, you being in a studio session, Moose, and I'm writing a bar and I'm recording, and then you're like, hey man, don't say this. Why don't you maybe that hook, instead of saying this, say that, right? In that moment, already you're entitled to royalties, right? You are entitled. Nobody can take that away from you. You are now officially a writer on that song,
the song.
right? So when it comes to who owns the track when we leave, if it's done here in my crib, we're chilling, nobody paid for a session, right? When I release the music, the master, it's mine.
It's yours.
It's mine.
So yeah, that's my fault. Why was I being
Where,
creative?
yeah,
Why
and
was I being creative on some other nigga
hey,
shit?
so the most you're entitled to is your royalties. So whatever the music earns from radio, from sync, from whatever, if the song plays on Netflix and whatever, you must get paid. But the master, I own it. It's mine. It's not ours unless we equally spend money in
Man, okay,
mixing,
putting the shit together,
in
yeah.
buying the beat and all these
Yeah,
things, right?
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's like even with the producer. If the producer gives me a beat and I pay for it, yeah, nigga, it's exclusively mine unless the contract for that beat says
That says,
otherwise.
yeah, no,
Right.
yeah.
So if I pay an exorbitant amount, it's my
So
beat.
do you know what it is? Do you know what it is?
So
It's,
you still own the rights to like the mechanic. No, is it mechanical rights? I could be wrong, but you own publishing rights to that production. It's yours. It's legal. It's yours.
so do you know what
But
it is?
I own it.
Yeah, it's like any job.
Yes.
Right? It's like any job. It's like you go to work, the company is there, is giving you resources.
Yes.
It's putting you in touch with clients.
Yes.
Right? You're a guy, you're doing marketing or whatever. It's putting you're not you as you're not as Nasi, you're not gonna go and talk to Coca-Cola.
Sure.
Right? Alone.
No.
You are doing that because you work for a certain,
For a certain company.
And then the Coca-Cola deal is a 2 million or 20 million
Sure.
rand deal. And when now you're still getting paid your 20K. And then you now want a piece of the Coca-Cola deal. No, like, do you ever have that negotiation with your company?
Nah.
To say it's because they're the company, they put together the resources. Yes, even if the idea
You are
is
able
yours,
to fulfill that task because you're
you're
affiliated
there.
with the company.
So I'm saying, even if the idea is yours, and I say that because, like I'm saying, I'm construction, right? Yeah, tenders, right? You work on a tender worth hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
And you feel that, yeah, you're a big part of it. But no, without the infrastructure, the company, everything, you don't get to work on such a project. So
Sure.
your value only becomes your value in that situation.
situation.
So what it is that with music, it's a little bit different because what we see is the musician, is the
Yes.
artist. But their value, I think, is recognized because of all those things are put together.
100%.
Right. So that's what a record label. That's what the record label is. That's what the record company is.
Sure.
In essence. So what it is, I think, in music, it's probably a bit more of an uneven. It's a bit more of an uneven deal
it's
or an
that way
uneven
because-
split. But
Yes,
that's what it
but
is.
it's that way because guys are uninformed. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It's literally that way because niggas are uninformed.
and the reason why that is that in music, remember, again, so in another industry, you're dealing with two professionals, all right? Whereas in music, not saying that a musician is a professional musician, right? But
Sometimes it's you.
yeah, okay, yes, again, it's because I'm not trying to offend anyone, right?
No, fuck that. Tell the truth, dog.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to get to is that what I say is that the label is coming with contracts, with lawyers,
Sure.
with this. You as a musician are coming as an artist. That's
Yeah.
why it ends up being skewed. Whereas in other professions, you are coming with a degree. So you are negotiating your salary
Based on-
because
yeah.
you've got a certain qualification, you've got certain years in the industry, blah, blah, blah. And then you're dealing with the company as well that provides these resources, has an HR department.
Everybody
so
understands the value of the position.
that
what's expected
what's
from
expected, what you're bringing to the company and what the company is bringing to you.
Yeah.
Whereas in the music industry, I think you're still dealing with a very professional company.
Yeah.
Even I think more professional than, when I say more professional in terms of like, I think, let me say legal wise, like in terms of how the contracts are done,
Sure.
all those things are tied up. You're dealing with some that's probably dealing with at the highest level of contracts.
Yes.
That's what the label is doing.
Yeah.
And then you are coming as a musician
You've no
with
experience.
what
in-
you have is talent.
Yeah.
You don't even
we're
you don't
probably
even go to
broke, you need-
school. You don't even go to school to teach. That's what I'm saying. That with us at least, in school they teach you that you get a certain degree, you register at a certain level, you're
Yeah.
worth a
A
certain
certain
amount.
amount.
So even when you go out and start negotiating with companies for jobs, it's that. But as a musician, you don't even get that. You are coming out with raw talent, and then you are dealing with a professional
100%.
company,
And
and a monster. Dog.
but here's the trick, right? Is what gets me is that in the States, more and more artists are getting more and more informed about how they approach the music game. Whether you're dealing with a major or you're dealing with an independent label, right? If you look at labels like Bo Dreamville, Tabo, um, J. Cole, TDE, these niggas operate like majors, bro. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, and this side, we don't have any in the. Let me not say we don't have. I'm not aware of many independent
Independence
labels
that
that
operate
operate
at
on
that
that
level.
high level, right? Where you can have an entire roster, and as an independent label, I can go negotiate with Sony Music, with Mang 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 Mang, for a deal for my artist. So now as Nasi TauTona under #1 Comedy Entertainment, I can negotiate a deal for Nasi's album that's coming out in 2025 with Universal Music, right? And get a nice deal. Maybe it's a licensing deal with some publisher, with that. But then #1, it's one under Def Jam.
Okay.
You understand? Like, that's how niggas move in the States. That's how these labels operate, these independent labels. It's a label that's signed to a label
Yeah.
that's signed to a label that where's
So don't you know what it is? Here in South Africa, they're not done eating you guys yet. Yeah. Like once they finish, once they suck
and
everything
that's
out,
that's the
then
problem.
they'll let you go.
That's the problem I
Then
have,
they'll
right?
let you go independent for real.
Yeah, and that's the
Yeah.
problem I have is that as soon as you start asking questions, like, yo, look at all the artists that are popping off in SA, right? As soon as, bro, it starts getting good for you, niggas jump ship, they join a fucking major. As soon
No,
as, dog. A gona ope o kileng a tswa. I think Cooley, Lost in Time was my throne, and my throne one way. I don't recall if he was
Okay, if
with,
there was a
if there was a
major.
major. I don't think there was a major at that time involved. You know what I mean? There's very few albums, and on a major scale, I can understand it. If you've been in the game and you've now got this project that needs to, right? You involve a major, right? But you
Yes,
involve
yeah.
a major to an
For me, that's what
extent
I was
where,
gonna say. I was gonna say even that
yeah,
I'm sure on a
there's nothing
distribution
wrong with that.
level,
Yes,
there was
there was
a major,
a
especially I think
major
that was
involved.
his best
Yeah,
album, right?
you wanna,
Best performing
yeah,
album even, yeah. So chances are even at least at distribution level,
100%.
there's probably some major
If I'm not
involvement.
mistaken, that album won Album of the Year at the Summers. Not Best Hip Hop Album, but Album of the
Yes,
Year.
yes.
You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with involving a major, but my concern is that every motherfucker that comes out and starts catching traction, they are quick to jump onto the major label train,
Yeah.
right? And I get it from a monetary point of view, but what happened to niggas willing to struggle to build their fucking
You
labels
see that
so that
no,
you can fucking, excuse my
you
language,
said the
but
word.
so
Don't even
that
the
you
language,
can,
the word.
you can
Struggle. Struggle.
no, but
Struggle,
struggle
nigga.
comes with the ability to now then negotiate in a position of strength, my nigga. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, so
If I come to a label owning, like, when I get fedite album, or ke recordile, ke mixitse, ke masterile, ke feditse, here's the album, it's
okay,
dope.
so no, do you know
What
what it
I
is?
need now is the push,
Hey,
the
do you know what it,
marketing
no, do you
push.
know what it is? It's life, Nats. How many like inspirational YouTube or TikTok videos do you watch where they're talking about, only the 10%, like everyone knows what to do, but only
Sure.
the 10% or 5% actually do
Do
it.
it.
Where they talk about, instant gratification, right? Save, like putting away, instead of chowing the benefits now. put them away, and then later
Sure.
you get to enjoy later. Like we all know those lessons, right?
Yes.
But how many of us do it?
Not a lot of us do
Yeah.
it, but
So it's the same with the music that you're being offered something that's nice now, and you do not you think? You think,
yeah,
you'll be able to cheat the
but
game, you'll be able to cheat it down the line. And
no, but
no.
how do you cheat the game if you're not informed? Is
That-
my argument, right?
Okay,
My argument is that niggas, even when they get into that position where it's like, okay, cool, let's say there's nothing wrong with you drop a project and then while that project is still doing well. Now, here's another thing. It's like while that project is still doing well, right? Niggas take that same project and re-release it under the major. So it's not a new deal for a
Okay,
new album, right? It's like this project that's happening now. Let's say I drop Tenasu. Tenasu is doing okay. And then somehow it catches
Yeah,
traction.
6 months down
and then
the
I
line.
sign with the label. Then the label now takes it down and re-releases it as a project, and then they start monetizing from it, right? That happens a lot, bro.
Yeah.
In SA. My issue is like, okay, cool, you're doing that, but then now you end up being in a 3-4 album deal, right? Because they're going to now say to you, look how much we pushed this album. It was doing small numbers, now it's but now in that period, you're not informing yourself.
Okay,
You're not informing yourself when that deal was being made. You're not asking the right questions because you're uninformed, right? We've seen this happen time and time again. Like, but niggas, I mean, dog, there's too much information available as opposed to when we started rapping and you know what I mean, you just had to go on what niggas were telling you. You had to go to the library and like, where the fuck was I gonna find out about?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? No,
Hey,
dog.
there was no internet.
There was
I
no
mean,
internet
yeah,
like that.
like this.
You know what I'm
where it's
saying?
in your pocket.
Yeah, I started learning these things in conversations now when I started meeting Botodi. I remember when they told the story, the whole Morafe situation, and I was like, man, this is some interesting shit to know. Because now I'm stuck in that mentality of the artist, I'm under a label, now my job is to rap and everything else will happen. Nah, nigga, that mentality quickly needed to change to a point where I'm like, yo, I need to inform myself of how do I actually distribute music myself? Why do I need a label? How do I mix? How do I do this? How do I clear music? How do I do all of these things? That learning, yes, it took time. Until this day, I'm still learning shit because the game is forever evolving. You know what I mean? But why am I a fucking unicorn?
Hey.
You understand what I'm saying? It's the same thing in construction, dog. If you're trying to get ahead, you're gonna be like, how did that company get that tender? What are they doing? Yeah, maybe we should add that to our repertoire. You learn.
Bribery, nigga.
You know what I'm saying? But in
But,
every other profession, there's an element of getting ahead means being informed. But with music, it's like, no. I
It's,
must just learn how to rap.
So
and
no, and then what
needs
it
to
is
change.
that in most industries or institutions, remember, it's their job to inform you.
Yes.
Right. Well, let me not say it's their job, but where are you gonna get that information from?
Sure.
Right. Even now, yes, now you go to school for it, right? I can see like your brother, I think even the books that he used to read and put me on in terms of like management of music, even in essay or whatever, yeah. But those books are still released by industry.
Yeah.
Those people in the industry. Those courses at
come from the
varsity,
industry.
at college it's niggas in the industry. So why is that they don't want you to have that information?
Fair enough, but we are coming up. Yes,
So yeah,
access to that
you gotta
information.
look for it yourself.
Yes.
So like I'm saying that unless you are
But
now
you
that
won't
percent,
you won't find something that you're not looking for, Musa. This is my point, right? If you identify a problem, you don't need to know that there's a book about that problem out there. You're like, there's a problem I'm having.
So
I want to fix this problem.
so
I
you know-
seek information to.
so it is that you need to be informed to know that there's a problem.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, so if you're not informed in the first place, then you don't know that there's a problem. Remember, you're talking about these young guys who are just coming to the game. So you
100%.
realize that there was a problem after what? Putting in time.
Yes.
Time gives you experience, it gives you knowledge, gives you wisdom. So you now understand that. But if you are a year or two in the game, you don't have that. You have so little knowledge that you don't even know that you need to go out and find knowledge.
Fair enough.
So you are basic.
I 100% hear you and I agree. But my thing is like, how long? A nigga still gonna use that as an excuse. Being uninformed, bro. It's ridiculous. There's way too much information out here. My nigga, just on Instagram alone, you can find a bunch of niggas that are gonna share some game with you.
Yeah,
Right. And these niggas do it out of the goodness of their hearts. Like, it's up to you. Do you hit the follow thing? Do you go and say, okay, I hear what this nigga's saying. Let me look into, because these niggas are just scratching the surface in terms of the idea. They're just planting ideas in your head. It's your job to now go out there and investigate what this guy was talking
Yeah,
about.
so are you interested enough? But if you're being offered a deal, which is saying, you know what, this album or this mixtape that you've been pushing for the past 6 months alone, let's even buy it, make some money off it for us and for you as well. It seems like a good deal. It seems like a good deal. And then within that, there's like 3, 4, 5 albums maybe hidden in there, or maybe not hidden, right? And it looks like a good deal. That's what I'm saying. So if you're just coming into the game, no, it's you're jaded. So yeah, like every contract, you look at it with some skepticism, right? But someone coming with fresh eyes into the game, a contract looks good.
Word.
Which is why, like I'm saying, which is why it's worked over time. You've seen it work for decades, not even just in America, but here as
Even
well.
here. All right, fair enough, man.
Or rather, not even just here, but in America as well.
Yeah, I need to be a little bit more kind-hearted to that idea of. I think what annoys me is that it's not the lack of niggas being informed; it's the lack of wanting to know. A lot of guys that I have conversations with about industry shit is like they don't want to know this shit. You know what I mean?
Ignorance is bliss. Damn.
That needs to change, bro.
I'm saying that if it doesn't benefit you to know, at some point, like it's how guys get just tired of shit. Like if it
know too much.
right? Hey,
Yeah.
at some point you know too much. You're like, you know, it's better just to be ignorant. Actually, better to be ignorant right along with it. So I think there's a lot of people who are like that but then within that get trapped in that ignorance.
Okay.
Because a lot of people start off saying that, you know what, I know too much that I can't I know that I can't change it. I can't change the game or whatever it is. But then within that, you get comfortable in not doing in inactivity. It's nice as well. Get comfortable in saying that, at least me, I know. And then but within that, you get lost. And then you start being actually ignorant. Because remember, things evolve.
True.
So you actually start being actually
because
ignorant.
You already know.
Yeah,
so you're not looking
you
to.
think, you already know.
You think you
and
know.
then at some point, in the beginning, you already know. Then at some point, you think you know.
You think you know.
And then
You don't know
and
shit.
then you actually start becoming actually ignorant. And then, so I think those are probably the niggas that you're complaining about.
Nah, I feel
Where you're thinking that this guy should know better. Like,
why
you
don't
should
you
know better, my nigga.
Why
Like,
don't
we've
you
gone
know
through
this?
the same shit.
Yeah.
But at some point, remember at the fork, you decided, you know what, let me continue being a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
He was like, you know what, it's not taking me anywhere.
Anyway.
And then, 2 years into that, you fall into it.
Nah, I feel
You
you.
become complacent, and then
I feel you, man.
just you roll with the flow.
Yeah, I know. Hey, man, good luck to niggas out here trying to navigate the game. I'll say it again. I'll always say it.
Yeah, good
Like,
luck.
good luck, niggas. But the key to this game is like knowing some shit. You know, that's what's gonna set you apart from the rest. Is just knowing a little bit more than the next guy.
Knowledge is power.
You know what I mean? And sharing that knowledge. I think the key to the game is share that shit with an open heart, my nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, not to everybody.
Capitalism has fucked that up. And then as soon as you say not to everybody, it's because those ones that you don't want to share it with, right? You want to take advantage of them somehow.
Word.
Right. Or the ones that you're willing to share it
You
with.
fear that niggas will Like, oh, it's itat. Like I said it in last week's episode, is
Yeah.
that's my biggest fear, right? With doing this
But okay,
kind
no,
of shit.
but look,
right?
yeah, but what's wrong with someone who knows too much? It's
No.
because at some point you can't use it, like you can't take advantage of them. And when I say that, it's not in a nefarious or sinister way.
Sure.
Right. I think take advantage in everyday human interactions.
Yes.
But you now realize that this person
No,
knows too
I'm
much.
saying it from a point where it's like you become that guy who is always giving information, like or advisor, right? So I try and be very careful not to give unsolicited advice, right? I do not
Yeah, yeah.
like doing that.
Yeah, like,
if
why would I have you
hey,
around?
this nigga didn't ask me shit. Why am I telling
Hey,
you
hey, hey,
about?
hey.
You know what I mean? So I'm very cognizant of that. Like, don't become that nigga that's like every time you're around, this nigga about it. You know them like in Don't Be a Menace to Society. That nigga with the dashiki shit. Like ignorant ass nigga, but he's always just giving niggas
Excuse me,
advice.
brother. My brother.
You know the nigga says
Yeah,
brother twice. Excuse me, brother.
Hey, those,
You know what I mean?
what do they call them in America? Hotep.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be that nigga, right? But at the same time, it's like, yeah, some niggas need to be told, like, yo, man. So my fear is that I operate with this fear. I want to, niggas will be looking at me like, and we
Hey, so
he thinks he
you came
knows.
to kill a part.
He thinks he knows. And then what Kenya? You stop telling us what we didn't ask for, type shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, niggas, like, good luck. That's my 2 cents on that shit. Speaking of ignorance, Killer Mike won his Grammys and shit, and niggas was upset. Who's this Killer Mike guy? And I'm like, what are you guys talking about, right? Because Travis Scott has numbers on Killer Mike. Niggas were shocked, like, who's this Killer Mike?
Killer
Like,
Mike?
nigga, that album is amazing.
Eh,
First of all, like, you shouldn't be talking about hip hop. You don't know Killer
Killer
Mike, right?
I mean, it's part of the demographic, right? And
Sure.
What it is that those people who are saying that are almost 20 years younger than you. So it makes sense for them to say who's Killer Mike. Killer Mike, I haven't listened to it, but reviews, I heard it's a very age appropriate album,
Yes.
right? For Killer Mike. Someone made a comparison to Jay-Z's 444.
Yes.
Right, that it's an album that it's representative of his age,
Sure.
and what he's gone through in life and his experiences. So you and I would probably appreciate an album like that,
Sure.
as opposed to an 18-year-old, and that's the market right now. Me and you, yeah, as much as you try, we're not buying shit, we're not going out to the concerts, we're not creating the content, we're not.
Yeah, but nigga, it's we're talking about best rap album. What are we judging that on? Rap.
Yeah, and the market, it's the Grammys, dog. It's the Grammys.
Yeah,
Aren't
but
they
it's
judging
about-
around
it's-
aren't they
it's-
judging around the market? And I mean, he did
Yeah,
win, right?
You know, he did
Yeah,
win.
he
I
did
get that,
win.
but the argument, okay.
The people who are watching.
So I'll give you an example.
When I say the people watching, that, yeah, okay, I'm a little bit, I've lost like interest, right? Active interest,
Sure.
in the game. So I don't even know when the Grammys were, right? I'll just be
No,
on
100%.
YouTube looking up my conspiracy shit, and then
yeah, it'll
I'll
pop
come
up, like-
across Killer Mike, want some shit, if
Yeah.
I've got the 10 minutes to watch that video or
Sure.
whatever. So, you see what I'm saying? That, and I think a lot of the people who would appreciate Killer Mike's win are probably like me.
Yeah.
Then the people who are active, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not even on Twitter.
Yeah.
So you don't even get to see my opinion. You see,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, yes, Killer Mike should have won the Grammy. It's best rap. But yes, now you people know my opinion. Right?
Sure.
But other than that, my opinion was going to stay between me, you, and the 5 other people
Yeah.
I discuss hip hop with.
Sure.
Whereas those guys who are complaining.
But okay, listen, I saw this, right?
Mm-hmm.
This nigga is obviously upset that Travis Scott didn't
Mm-hmm.
win. And it's like, see, Travis's strength is not his rapping. it's his production and sets,
Is Travis Scott that?
and
Isn't that sacrificing guy?
yeah, the
The
guy
guy who
that
had like a
Kanye
concert.
signed.
We had a concert, I think, like a year or two ago, where Owens died. But in the concert, I think it's like, isn't he rapping about sacrificing Owens?
Yeah, it's them.
Or like the
Yes,
show is about like
yes.
something open happens,
You know what I'm
swallowing
saying?
guys, and then
he's
guys actually
and
die.
that's exactly what this guy's talking about. It's like
Yeah, so
production and set
yeah,
themes
so
he
that's the
creates
guy.
for his
That's
album.
the
It's
guy
like,
supposed to win the Grammy. That's the guy
nah,
supposed to win the Grammy.
nah, bro.
He did the thing.
But listen to
He
this.
killed the Ons.
You start your argument with his strength is not rapping, right? And you're complaining
That he didn't win
about
best rap
album. It's like listen to this. To say a rapper's strength isn't their rapping, and then be outraged that they didn't win best rap album is a wild take. Like, like no.
You see, so the
You know what
person
I mean?
who made that comment, I'm saying, I think that's an older, I think a mature enough person.
But that's the thing. We need to stop these nonsensical arguments. Like, it's stupid. It's stupid to have that argument. Like,
No,
right?
it's
Because
it's not
these
stupid
little
because-
niggas that are thinking that way are now one day gonna be
Yes,
making rules and making decisions about.
No, I was gonna say, Nas, your time is over. That's why I was saying that. Yeah, no. Do you know why? Remember I always talk about the future.
Sure.
So you are not the future. You are right now. And what it is that, yeah, we let it slip 20 years ago, or maybe we didn't let it slip. Like if you're enjoying
Sure.
the status quo, then
Sure.
and then you,
100%,
what is that? You
100%,
made the right decisions 20 years ago.
100%.
If you're not with anything, right? Don't say when I say that you're not the future, that no, the future is 18-year-olds.
I feel you.
Yeah, their opinions are the ones that matter because it's just saying 20 years from now.
But these niggas don't know shit about hip hop, man. A lot of them, like,
yeah,
we need to fix that, most. You know, I
Yeah,
know.
so, yeah.
Like we agree on a lot of shit, and I agree with you on this one, right? But like, I'm not willing to let it just and be like, you know what? I'll just
yeah.
listen to my hip hop and let it-
You see, that's where I am. I'm now. I'm at a fucking stage where I'm like, you know what?
I'm not ready to be like,
Yeah,
fuck
we
it.
tried.
Yo, sorry guys, we had a technical issue. We're getting to the bottom of these little problems. One day we'll have a smooth sailing episode, right? But
just
yeah,
need to get a sponsor, my nigga.
one day, one day. But yeah, we're talking about. You're saying like,
Yeah, I was saying that I think
in your fucking like, you don't give a fuck.
yeah,
Sure.
I'm saying that. Yeah, I'm in my fucking phase.
Sure.
And I was saying that, yeah, the last of the rappers that I listened to was that class Yabo, Kendrick, J. Cole,
Sure.
Drake, Big Sean. And it's because those are people my age. Right? So it's easy. It's been like for hip hop, you know, other genres of music. I think it's easier to listen to people of any age.
Sure.
Right? 20 years ago, it was easier to listen to Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Someone who's 18 years, 15 years older
Sure.
than you or whatever, you know. At some point, it's hard for me as a 35-year-old to listen to a 21-year-old telling me about life and how good his life is and how bad my life. I mean, that's in essence half of what hip hop is.
nowadays, right?
Like, yeah, nigga, we taking your bitch. we fucking your, we taking your money and fucking your bitches with your money.
With your
That
money,
was
nigga.
Tupac, right?
Yeah.
And it's easy. Like,
When you're a youngster,
right? Yeah, when I'm
yeah.
13, yeah, it's nice. That's cool.
Yeah,
When I'm
yeah.
17, it's all right. When I'm 23, it's okay, right?
Sure.
And it's a 39-year-old Jay-Z telling me that.
Sure.
But when I'm 39 and it's a 18-year-old
Telling you
little
that shit like,
some,
nah, nigga, shut the fuck up.
Right. So what it is that, and it's not that those are the only people making hip hop.
Word.
Right. We still have the OGs or whatever who are still
Sure.
making music, but they've become the niche.
Yes.
And then even us as the audience have also become,
I can agree to a certain extent, right?
because the guys actively participating in this shit. Remember, this shit is now, this is what I'm saying. Okay, maybe I'm also speaking from a personal
point of view,
right?
yes.
Because I'm a dinosaur, right?
Yeah.
I'm social media, this, but
Yeah.
that's where music is right now. But remember, that's a lot of artists. How many rappers, like even me, the guys yeah, I hear those guys, Wu-Tang, talking about, hey, we're on social media now and on Facebook, right?
Sure.
And yeah, I get to see this shit because I'm also on Facebook,
Yeah.
right? But you know what I'm saying? That the guys who are active in the shit, in the commentary, in where an artist, remember, even the artists that we listen to are not built like that.
Word.
They're not built for responding today
Word.
with anything, whether it's
I get
comments.
what you
Because
mean by
remember,
the guys
remember,
that are investigating this shit on a day-to-day basis is not niggas like you and me.
yeah,
Like we know
because
what we know because we just happen to come across
yeah,
it.
remember
I feel you.
how we even started consuming hip hop. Nasi was, and even where shit even hip hop news, right? We had to wait for magazines to come out. Source magazine,
Yeah.
Vibe magazine. Us here in Africa, you now had to,
Hey, even Hype magazine, bro. When Hype
and then hype,
when
right?
Hype used to go around to these different parties, and you'd know about these parties by buying a
Hey,
Hype.
by buying a
That's the only
hype,
way you
hey,
knew about,
come out with the
about
CD. It was,
Slaggees and you know what I mean.
So, like that was the that's we that's how we used to consume
Yeah,
our hip hop and even our hip hop news.
sure,
So yes, we're evolving, right? That's what
sure.
I'm saying. I'm speaking personally because maybe personally I haven't evolved to that level. But how many of me
Are
are
out
there
there.
out
There's
there, right?
plenty more than you think.
And even you guys that are evolving, what it is that you are evolving. There are guys who are being born into the shit,
Yeah,
right? That's a guy who was born in the year 2000 is 24 right now. That means he's gone through varsity and has a degree and is in the workplace. He was born when
when the club was being made.
right. When I started using a cell phone.
Sure.
That's why I'm slow to this shit.
Yeah.
He was born into this
Into this
life.
shit.
So it's hard for even you guys who are evolving
Yeah.
with it and you're now doing the
It's a
podcast
lot of
and
work.
it's
It's a lot of work to
it's
keep up with the technology that's happening.
yeah.
Like
You see, for you it's a lot of work.
it's a lot,
For them, it's
But I need
for
to
them it's light work.
Yeah.
Like look at your nephews, right? Isn't that how they operate?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you used
it's
to
a
write
norm.
letters, Nas.
Yeah.
You used to write letters and talk
Yo,
to
we used
girls.
to collect those chain messages, 3310. You remember to
Eh,
send to your babe.
yes,
Eh.
right.
And that's how you used to kick game, guy SMS. It wasn't
Eh,
chatting.
yeah.
You'd send the chain message that no one's ever received.
Eh,
Hey, like I don't know where we used to even get these chain messages, bro. Some of the niggas used to create those. Sorry to derail this, but this is a nice memory from high school, right? And I remember kicking game with those chain messages, sending it, and
hoping that
then
no one else has sent it.
and then waiting to see what she sends back. Cause it's either gonna be a pop, oh okay, that's cute, or it's gonna be a bomb ass chain message of her own,
Like,
saying, "Buddy, I love you," ding ding. You know what I'm saying? That was dope.
You see,
That was the most
you see-
exciting shit
yeah,
ever.
you see her from
right?
that era. Like half your audience is thinking like, what the
What is
fuck
nigga
are these
talking
niggas
about?
talking about? Like chain message, talking about emails, like so.
Thanks.
But yeah, so I think
Sure.
that's what it is. That so even the way music is consumed now, music
different. It's
is
different.
released daily.
It's
So I
different.
think for me that's another thing why I stopped being interested, is that it was becoming too much. Remember, nice. I was used to
Yeah.
going to buy something. You wait for an album to come out. You
Yeah.
know that it's 1998. These are the albums that are
They're coming out.
These are albums that you're waiting for.
And there's limited stock coming to the music.
Yeah,
near you,
exactly. They're
bro.
coming to the music that you know that, that you can get to. So that's now, and then at some point, music just started.
It's too
It just
accessible.
started coming.
Which actually, like, because I know you're a dinosaur, right? And one of the things I made a note of here is like, yo, how do you consume music? Like, because you don't subscribe to shit, Moose.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you don't subscribe to anything. Like, you don't.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I'm paying for shit now today that I subscribed for you 10 years ago.
Because
Because you don't subscribe to
Subscribe to
shit.
anything,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
So music
How do you consume music, bro?
from niggas like you. So
Sure.
what it is that you come, you put me on some new shit,
Sure.
and then I'll decide whether I'm interested in it or not.
Sure.
So I'll take it, and then it'll be like, you know what? Am I interested in it? Am I not? And most times, honestly, I'm not.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? But that's now a personal
Yeah,
taste
yeah, yeah.
thing, right? So every now and then, you know,
Check table there.
every now and then, yeah, you find some new shit or whatever. But yeah, I'm at a point where I think with music, I'm comfortable being, because music is timeless.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing.
Yeah.
So I'm comfortable being.
We're too spoiled for choice. That's the thing. Like even
Yeah,
now, right?
yeah,
There's so much new music coming out, right? And
You can't keep up.
I'm like, yo,
Like-
fuck,
like
fuck
I can't
listening
keep
to
up.
this
I
shit
can't
right
keep
now.
up.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like right
yeah.
now, and man, it's yeah, we're spoiled for choice, and the problem is now, every time Dick and Harry can release music, and the commentary about this music, niggas aren't trying to be real about it.
Yeah, no, you can't be real about it.
You know what I mean?
Right. Remember, music. There's a certain way you have to consume music for you to be able to have a valuable commentary on it.
Yes.
You can't. An album can't drop today,
And then you're already
and then
reviewing
tomorrow.
it today.
And then today
Nah,
the
bro.
commentary has come out. No.
Nah, bro.
Remember, you have to give it the first listen.
Yeah. Sit on it.
Sit
digest
on it, like pick out the tracks, think, and then now, can you listen to it for a second? Remember, the first time you have to listen to it through and through, right?
Through and through.
Whether you're enjoying listening to it
Yeah.
as a full album. Then tomorrow, 2 days later, put it on again and see, can you listen to the full album
Again.
or are you now skipping tracks? That's when you actually start reviewing.
Sure.
It, like I'm saying, it's a process. You
Yeah.
have to be able to
Yeah. I mean,
absorb, appreciate the music.
Pretty Ugly dropped his album, and it's said to be his last album.
Yes, I think I heard that.
I heard it, you know, on my way to church, continued it after church on my drive home, and I like it, right? But I didn't like it enough to have an opinion about it.
To be able to give a comment
to
on
give
it
a
now.
comment about it. I like the first one. The second one didn't hit Soil. I like that one. Then the second one didn't hit me as hard as that. So I came into this skeptical. But for first spin, I enjoyed it, right? I'm like, okay, cool. I need to spin it some more and really listen to what this niggas like, break down the concepts and you know, what is he talking about. Find the relatability in it, because of a first spin, I didn't immediately relate to a lot of the stuff. I could appreciate the perspective and where he's coming from, and the penmanship is dope. That's, you know, but I don't fully understand the context of the music, right? I don't know enough about him to relate to it in that regard. So I cannot give an opinion about
Yeah. And remember now, that's because not everyone is a music critic.
Yes,
Right.
but now,
Yeah, so now everyone,
literally
because-
the Monday. This thing
Hey.
drops Friday. The Monday,
No, remember
niggas
something,
already have
because-
videos out
Yeah,
reviewing. this
everyone
shit.
has access to a camera for you to post something,
Sure.
or a Twitter account or whatever, for you
100%.
to review. Remember before, that's what I'm saying, like back in the day, music critics and reviewers would actually get the album weeks before anyone else
Yeah,
gets it.
because they're not.
I'm sure
they're
they
not,
have
they're
to
not
sign some
clouded,
shit.
They're not clouded by popular opinion when they're
Yes,
hearing it.
you know, they would. I guess it was a bit, because I'm sure that they would then cloud popular opinion.
Yes.
Because remember, by the time you get the album, you've read his review on the
No,
Source
100%. But the
magazine.
guy reviewing it, his bias is not based on popular.
On every- yes, on-
it's,
yes.
it's his bias. Maybe he likes the artist, which might
which
sway it towards the artist's favor, right? Even if it's a shit project. But you read that review with an open mind, right? Already,
Yes. Because it hasn't dropped, and then a million people on Twitter have said it's shit.
It's
or
shit.
have said
So
it's
now
not-
the
it's
person
good,
reviewing it
so-
is gonna say it's shit. You get what I'm saying? Whereas now is everybody reviewing this shit is like, alright, cool, man. Like, it's been out for a day, dog, a weekend. Like, chill, right? already calling it an instant classic, and it's unfortunate that I'm using Pretty Ugly's album as an
Okay, okay.
example, right? It's just that, you know, um, but I was listening to Touchline and Ginger Trails one as well. I was
So what was
listening
it already called a classic?
when nigga, I played Pretty Ugly's one once over the weekend, and then Monday, I'm seeing videos. Hey, no, it's an instant classic, you know, and I'm like, it's been out for a
For a
week.
weekend. Like we need to know, like 3 months from now, before you
Yeah,
call it a classic.
it's been out for
3 months
a
from
week, my
now, are
G.
we? Is
You
it
know what I'm
still going to
saying?
be
Are
a
you
project
gonna?
that people are
Yeah,
interested in? Is it like, yeah.
it's
Not
ridiculous.
necessarily that you're going to be bumping the music, but is it
Yeah,
still going to be
are you gonna
relevant?
feel the same
Are you
way?
still going to be saying it's a classic?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta let it live. Let's see what it
No,
does
it doesn't.
in the
Nice. You got to let
streets.
it live.
Let it
Let it
live,
live.
dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem is that because attention span is kuswanyane nowadays, bruh. Is niggas are quick to give reviews.
Because tomorrow
Quick to,
somebody
else
else
is
someone
dropping,
else
right?
has done this.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm listening to a lot of projects right now. I mean, I'm listening to I just played Touchline and Trills, which I liked. But I'm saying I like these projects, right? But I still don't have enough spins for me to be like this, that, and the other, and to be too critical about it, right?
About it,
Like off the rip, Ginger, Khatkimam, the Pretty Ugly's project, I was like, the mixing, I'm not a fan of what I'm hearing from a Sonic's point of view.
Okay,
I'm not loving it. So I'm already not in like dunked into the music. Now I'm listening
to what
to
he's got
what
to
he's
say.
saying, right? To the message, to the concept.
The bars.
I'm listening to the bars now. You know what I'm saying? With same approach with Ginger and Touch. I'm listening to Khatikima A Reese's brother. Khatikima and Jody or what's his name? It's a dope ass project. Like from everything that I've been listening to, he's got the nicest project. You know, I don't know if it's beat selection or what it is. J Jody.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I didn't even know that nigga's A Reese's
That's
brother.
Avery's brother.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Kibaliba benchmark.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the niggas from
Oh,
there.
those,
Very nice project, bro. And I think with him especially, I had this preconceived notion about him benchmarking. I was expecting a certain sound. So when I heard it, I was like, man, this is not what I was expecting. Like it's a pleasant surprise, right? So now I gotta play all these projects together. And
Okay, yes,
let them spin. Let them spin for the
yeah,
next
yeah.
month. These are the projects that I'm
like-
gonna be spinning. And who am I gonna be playing the most? We'll see.
What
You
you
know what I
gonna
mean?
be
Not
enjoying
I
it?
heard it once. What if today I didn't like Ginger and Touch, but in a month I played again. I'm like, yo, man, this shit slapping different, you know, because I'm in a different
You're
mood.
in a different mood,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
You cannot be judging music as soon as it comes out and we're calling things instant classics. Like, nah, we must have some respect. Put some respect on it. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. To wrap it, before we wrap it up, actually, we dropped the list.
Okay,
I'm gonna
yeah.
be talking about this list for many episodes, guys. Let me try it. But
Yeah,
one
it's
one
nice.
of the
Unpack it bit by bit.
one of the criterias in there is impact, right? And I want to get a definition going for all these criteria. So I'm gonna be asking everybody about define certain criteria. So like when it comes to impact, especially with regards to SA hip hop, how would you define an art and an MC's impact when it comes to discussing best rapper lists in SA? What would be a fair definition for you?
For
Like,
impact.
yeah.
For impact now. Changing the game. Like, and obviously like there's big changes to the game, there's subtle changes to the game. But I think having an impact. So I mean, obviously I now can't use
The word
the
to
word in
define
the
itself.
definition here. But having an effect, a ripple effect, right? So yes, did you come in and make that big splash that made the noise, or did you come in and at least make that ripple that added on to the next one, that added on to the next one, or did you just jump in and
Make noise and then
eh,
did you sink?
did you sink and So I think, but that's a difficult one. Yeah, I should have given me a bit of time.
No, but
But
that's how
no,
I
no,
want it.
no,
You know what I
no,
mean?
but no, it's fair enough. But you know, examples I think are the best, right?
Sure,
This it's unfortunately it's an easy one, right? But Casper,
sure.
right? Um, yeah, that's obviously I think biggest impact, and the reason why I say that is there's been obviously I can't even say better MCs. That's no
Yeah,
question, right?
yeah.
But there's guys who've had I think a questionable impact where you can compare it
True.
to.
Yeah,
But for me, as a hip hop fan, I think he he made hip hop,
yeah.
South African hip hop, cool and acceptable
Again,
again.
yeah.
And no, and not even again, because before that, I think it was for a niche market, right? Myself, I think let me explain, right?
Yeah.
Myself being a hip hop head, right? Obviously, let me not say American hip hop, right? And then obviously South African hip hop starts doing its thing. I'm a fan. I jump in. I start listening, whatever. But I believe I was part of a niche
Yeah.
market, right? And it's because of the content from the American accents that those rappers used
Sure.
to the content. The reason why I bring Casper is that he came in with Kusheshe, right? So the name of the track, it's a Kusheshe. A Kusheshe is a car that you see in every hood. Whereas hip hop before that used to reference Range Rovers. A Range Rover was even now is something that's very aspirational. Yes, now you see them in the hood. Yes, now your neighbor can have it. But like 20 years ago, yeah, nigga, if you're living in, you would go, I don't know for how long without seeing a Range Rover.
Sure.
But a Kusheshe was something that
Yeah, and then there's a
you've
manga
got your
mang, but
never.
it
Yeah,
it
exactly.
was
It
there,
was
but
still. It's not
it was
that.
still
It's not that everyone
yeah,
has it, right? Something. It's still something
still
that
luxury.
stands out, right? It's still luxury. It still stands out, but it was common enough for millions of people
To relate to
to
them.
to relate to and identify with.
I get where you're coming from, and I just want to explain why I was like again, because every time I have this conversation about impact, and Casper is always a great example, right?
And an easy one, yeah.
And an easy one, but a mistake people often make is that he didn't introduce certain ideas into hip hop in terms of the mainstream hip hop.
No, not at all.
He
Yeah, exactly.
elevated
Yeah.
a lot
Yes.
of so I
Yes.
don't want to give him the credit of like being the first to do shit. I want to give him the credit of being the first to elevate and make it like
I
super
think yes.
mainstream, super commercial, super bankable in terms of dealing with corporate and the people that have the real money, the people that are trying to spend money. He's the nigga that made it cool for an APSA or a
No,
My Way or
because he brought
whatever.
in numbers.
Yes, he brought
Yeah.
in numbers.
So no,
So I want
no.
to give him that
Yeah.
credit, but
So no, for me, I
in,
don't think he made it cool. That's what I'm saying. That so for me, that's where.
not made it cool, but for making it comfortable for the big business to put money into it.
So for something. So for me, then something. So impact. So for me, the impact that I think he brought into it was he brought numbers
Yes,
by making it an everyday and every man's genre in South
yes,
Africa. He then brought the numbers to it. Remember, ABSA, the reason why ABSA or FNB or whatever will go and sponsor that is the numbers.
yes.
Do you have the numbers? It's not about the quality of the music. It's not about do you have the numbers or not. So for me, when you say elevated, so for me, I think that's the game. That's the change that he brought to the game. Was he brought in numbers?
Sure.
He brought in numbers. But there's other artists who brought in a different kind of change where you change the nature of the game. There's artists who've made vernacular cool.
Yeah.
Right. That's an impact in the game.
Okay.
Right.
True, man.
That's an impact. Yeah. You may not have brought the numbers. You may not have brought a million, like millions of guys to hip hop, but you maybe made vernacular mainstream.
Sure.
Vernacular now, there's now different, right? There's now Tswana vernacular, Mutswakwa, there's Zulu vernacular, there's this. So there's different kinds of impact. That's what I'm saying. So Casper is an easy go-to because you can even quantify it.
Yes.
You can quantify it, you can talk about numbers, you can talk about, but yeah, so impact I think is something that, yeah, man, I think that we can talk about. That,
Yeah.
yeah, it's actually, I think it's worth the conversation.
Yeah, I think it needs a very lengthy conversation because within itself there's so many touch points that you can talk
But that's what I'm saying.
about.
But I think that's what I'm saying. But I think
Some-
for us to say that someone had an impact is if are they worth having the conversation?
Conversation,
So before
yeah.
we even define that, how they had the impact, that was it bringing numbers to the game, or was it
Or was
bringing
it
vernac
bringing-
to
yeah.
the game, or was it bringing fashion to the game,
Yeah.
or was it bringing whatever? Like it's what is that? Can we have the conversation about you?
you, yeah.
Eh, if we can, then I think we can
You have
define.
them,
Yeah, I think so. That's my definition of impact. Is that are you conversation worthy?
All right. Dope. I'm gonna ask you for top 5. Your top 5 favorite MCs international and top 5 SA.
All right,
You can go at it however you want.
all right,
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, this is now when I'll reveal my age. I mean, I have revealed it, but that's when they're like, this
Yeah,
guy is
yeah.
really serious.
It's only
Cool
Zabali.
Mo D and MC Shed.
This nigga used to be a b-boy. I feel, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Let me see. So for me, I think my favorite artist of all time,
Yeah.
Nas.
Oh, wait.
Right. That's my favorite MC of all time. I stopped listening to Jay-Z
Because of
for like 2 years, 2001, 2, 3.
Because
Yeah.
that's it, fuck that nigga.
Because Nas say fuck that nigga.
Yeah.
So yeah, nah, that's Nas for me. Hey man, Jay-Z, you can't hate.
Yeah.
Like dog.
It's Jay-
We can say it's the Illuminati, whatever,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
hey dog, listen to
Hey,
the
they're on his ass.
Oh,
They're trying
man.
to get on his ass.
but listen to the verses, listen. And what is that? It even tells you the shit. It tells
Yeah.
you what he's going to do. Like
Like,
listen to
old
96
and
Jay-Z.
Today Jay-Z, like Jay-Z did the shit he told you.
Yeah, yeah. So which is why me being a conspiracy theorist, I believe in the Jay-Z time machine.
Yeah.
like not really, but
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
that's how nice Jay-Z is. Yeah,
that nigga has a time machine
That's
for
how nice.
sure.
Yeah, right. That's how
Yeah,
nice he is.
yeah.
That I believe he's
For
got a
sure.
time machine. I believe he's got a time machine. Black Thought.
What?
Black Thought. Yeah, me. Anyone who you want to bring to me, I'll bring that guy to battle you.
Sure.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Oh, wait.
Redman.
Okay.
Redman, I think. Yeah, that's people who are just nice with
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
People who are just
And he's still
he's
got
still
that fucking flavor, bro.
yeah.
I feel you.
People who are just nice with it.
Yeah.
And then let me. Okay, man. I'll come back.
Come back to your
to
fifth
that
spot.
5. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Let's say nigga, Mulim is.
Yeah.
Mulim is my guy. That's the nigga who made me go out and understand Tswana, right? Yeah,
Word,
yeah.
word.
So I think Mr. Mo.
I think you know that album word for word. Eh?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
you know.
That's what's up.
Amans, that's my album. Tumi,
Aware.
Tumi, especially he'll probably so let me not say Stogie.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Stogie's still nice,
Yeah.
but
Tumi.
Tumi, right? And let me not hate on the transition. Remember I was saying before, I used to be those niggas who used to be stuck in the
Yeah.
old days. So he's
Yeah.
for a while I hated his transition.
Word.
But he's spoken about it and listening to it, just thinking about it myself and I'm maturing, I guess.
Yeah.
I appreciate it
Yeah,
for
it
what
makes-
it
it
is.
makes sense.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate it for what it is. But yeah, I'm a Doomy fan. Double HP Jabba.
Yeah, way.
Yeah, RIP. uh, Pro Kid.
What?
That was another nigga that changed the game.
What?
I think Jabba too.
Yeah.
I think the two of them, especially.
Yeah.
So when I was speaking about vernacular, I think I
Yes.
was speaking
About those two.
about those two.
Yeah.
Really. And then
What you on? You know,
I'm on 4 as
on
well.
4. Yeah.
I'm on 4 as well. Um,
Your fifth spots are gonna be
hey, hey,
interesting.
hey, hey,
Like,
my
yo,
fifth spots,
yeah.
my fifth spots are interesting. Um, you know what? Let me give it to AKA dog
Sure.
for SA
Yeah.
is because man, I think what that nigga did it nice as well, man. That
Yeah.
nigga did it nice.
Yeah.
Where even like on the beefs, for me, I
Yeah.
think that was when he like
I think that's
with
for me.
composure and
When we talk about impact, right?
eh,
That's my favorite thing
okay,
about AK
that
that I give him impact for. Like he made SA beef cool.
cool, yeah, man, yeah.
You know what I
Like
mean?
it was nice. You'd want to see what that guy was doing, and then and
Yeah.
then I think he did give us the hits.
Yes, that
Like
came with,
I
you know
think
what I
every
mean?
season, every relevant hip hop season
He was running it.
since AKA came out, you could even
He was
say
running
he
it,
was
bro.
running it
Yeah.
right. I mean, Casper dropped, he had his
Yeah.
impact, he did his thing, but that guy was running it.
Yeah.
And like I'm saying, ever since he
I mean,
came through.
Cass had some summers,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
overall, I think AKA made him work that
Yeah,
much
yeah,
harder.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
And like I'm saying that ever since that nigga came through with Entity,
Yeah.
like,
Ish.
yeah, just what I'm saying
Yeah.
that I think he's been
Yeah.
doing his thing. He's
Yeah.
been doing his thing. So that's another
Nah, I feel that. I like
that's an
that list.
RIP.
I like that
That's
list.
another RIP. Then let me go back to the States for number five. Number five. I'm trying to think who I like.
I know.
Like, why is it? Yeah, I mean, I like a lot of niggas. Yeah, I listen to a lot of niggas. Yeah. And what is this? But also throwing someone in.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, I can
Nah.
throw someone
Yeah.
in and I can also, so, I don't know. Let me put a pen in down for now, my nigga. Because
Oh, yeah.
I can throw anyone in and
I feel
justify
you.
it.
You know
right?
who I thought you were gonna say? Biggie.
Like I thought
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, like I've thought about it,
Yeah.
and like he's, but no. And I think it becomes an easy one.
Yeah.
For me, I think he was the first. Like
Sure.
that's I'm a bad boy nigga.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me, I started listening to hip hop during Death
That-
Row, Bad Boy, Beef. Hey,
All the niggas.
I was on the Bad Boy. That's
Yeah.
when I started. Remember, I had my uncle who introduced me to the shit.
You're probably like
Hey.
fuck Shook that where he's like, well, you don't want your producers all
Yeah,
up in the videos.
So big, yeah, but like that's it also becomes an easy one as
Yeah,
well. Like
it's-
greatest
yeah.
of all time,
Yeah.
this, yeah. So that's
Alright,
yeah. So let me put a pin in it.
All right, next time I have you on the couch, I'll get
Yeah,
that out
you know
of
what? Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I
No,
mean?
no.
All right.
Do it.
Now, no doubt, my nigga.
And then let me just so a funny one for another day.
Sure.
That's sitcom Blackish.
Yeah,
When there's an episode where they talk about a dead culture, right?
Sure,
Someone needs to do a presentation on a dead culture.
sure.
And the pops thinks that she's going to talk about like the Mesopotamians or the ancient Egyptians. some
Sure.
shit. And then she talks about hip hop. And then he's like, what do you mean it's a dead culture? And then she's like, if the greatest rapper alive has been dead for 25 years,
Yes.
it's a dead
It's a
culture.
dead culture.
So,
Oof.
I mean, so.
Nah, I feel you.
So I don't believe so, but it made me think deep one. But no,
It's-
that's for another
That's an
time.
interesting
Yeah.
thought. That's an interesting
yeah,
thought.
that's
You
for
know what I
another
mean?
time.
Nah,
Let's-
shout out, my G. Appreciate you, man.
No doubt, my nigga, no doubt.
These niggas is getting longer and longer. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
So,
but I mean that means.
but that's dope. I'm enjoying them, and I hope y'all are too. Please click like, subscribe, and follow. Don't be a wanna. Until next time, peace.